what you said so far, okay?
Okay.
Ok, então ela falou que o corpo humano é integrado desde o nível celular, das proteínas, até o nível macro, né? Dos tecidos, das nossas partes do corpo, que todas elas formam a gente não é mais parte separada, a gente é uma parte integrada, um corpo integrado. E isso vai desde as leis da física, né? Da biologia. E o Steve Levin é uma pessoa que estuda muito isso. Ok.
Okay, so I guess we only have half an hour here, so would you like me to talk about how that will could potentially influence our practice?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so for me as a yoga teacher, now one of the things I'm excited about is the integration or how biotensegridade is a good metaphor for what we think of in the Vedic texts, which is where this phrase, as in the microcosm, so in the macrocosm, comes from. And in my own practice, it means that I can focus in on any level. So for example, if I have a student who is injured, she can focus in on the very smallest movement that don't cause pain, don't cause irritation, and yet by focusing in on these micro movements, eventually they expand and become bigger. Also,
ok, let me translate from here. Então, como é que ela traduz a biotensegridade na prática dela? Ela falou que na prática ela foca em relação à biotensegridade nos mínimos aspectos. Então, desde os movimentos menores, mais sutis, até os movimentos mais densos. Ok, you can go on.
Okay, I'll just continue on. Say, can you see this?
Yes,
this is one of reverse models. Maybe I need to back up. So say, for example, you have a student who is either unable to feel a certain area, or perhaps there's pain, unable to move it. If you watch this model, I actually need to put it on a chair. Even if I'm doing something down, oh, you can't see my finger, down here at the bottom, you can see the whole thing responds. And we feel that in our bodies. And another way that I like to play with this is just by observing. Can you see how this will expand and contract in every direction? If I stand up, you can see it against my shirt. So the breath feels like this. And one of the things that's really interesting to do is enter into your body. So becoming aware of the sensations inside. And we could do this now if we simply relax and become aware of our bodies. And then notice how or where it is from which you're watching your body. And enter inside, feeling the sensations of the whole body from within. And noticing the breath. Now we might notice the feel of the breath coming in through the nostrils and expanding the lungs in all directions. But if we allow ourselves to really rest and give up a sense of holding and doing, we can feel eventually that expansion and coming back to center in the whole body. And it feels as though the cells are breathing.
Okay. I have to translate.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, okay. So can you get the big model so we can start with that one? Então, ela falou, por exemplo, mostrando nesse modelo grande, se você tem um cliente que tem uma dor em algum lugar ou ele não sente uma região, primeiro é fazer com que o seu cliente esteja consciente de que as partes se comunicam, se integram e, de repente, uma dor no ombro tem a ver com alguma sensação lá embaixo, no pé. Então, primeiro aspecto é trazer a consciência para o seu aluno, para o seu paciente, que existe uma comunicação entre partes e que, às vezes, uma dor ou uma falta de percepção em uma região pode ter uma repercussão em outra região. Ok. Now, the second model.
This one.
Yes.
You know
E ela mostrou nesse modelo, quando ela expande e volta, ela fez uma comparação com a respiração. Então, expande, né, e volta, é respiração. Como é que a gente pode traduzir isso para o nosso corpo? É a gente, primeiro, ficar consciente em relação à respiração, respirar de forma lenta, observar o nosso corpo, quais são os espaços que são criados, perceber que essa respiração, ela atinge o corpo todo e não só a região do tórax. Então, estar consciente para essa sensação. Okay, we can go from there.
Okay, you want me to continue to talk about this?
Yes.
Okay, another, you like the models? A lot of manual therapists and when people will notice is that the area of pain or the area of constriction, often like in the mind, we want to go there and we want to fix that, but often that's not the root of the issue. So for example, this is, I'm going to stand up again. This is an example that from Kim Thompson. We might feel, excuse me here, we might feel some sort of a rubbing up in one area of the body. So you can see with this sculpture, maybe this is rubbing this area. We might try to create space there, but if we don't balance the tension throughout the whole system, or balance the tension compression throughout the whole system, it just goes back again. Can you see that? Where instead,
Yes.
if I look more, if I explore more globally, I might find that by increasing that tension and in a totally different area, the whole structure is then more tensegral, more able to hold its space.
Okay, so let's, I will explain that, okay? Can you show that again? Ok, yeah. Então se você, por exemplo, tem uma dor em uma região, vamos supor, ela está mostrando ali no pauzinho azul, e aí a tendência é você fixar e se focar naquela região ou tentar abrir as regiões vizinhas. Mas não, a gente tem que pensar num todo, no global. Por quê? Porque se você só mexe naquela parte e esquece do todo, das outras partes, aquilo vai voltar de novo para o problema original. Quando você pensa no todo, aí você consegue, então, um efeito e um resultado muito melhor. E ela está mostrando que, nesse momento, seria quando a gente pensa no todo. E aí você consegue realmente resultados melhores. That's very good.
Okay, it's funny. I don't know exactly when to do the movements.
I know, but we did fine. Okay, so that's very interesting. And you know what I'm trying to do in my with my students? Try to show them about biotensegridade and make them feel in their body. So like sometimes they are just standing up and then I say, just push your right foot onto the floor and then a little bit stronger and try to feel in your body the connections from the lines. You know, what do you feel now? They might say, oh, I feel my quads contracting. And then I say, push a little bit more. Oh, I feel my abs. And then they start to realize that there is an integration between the muscles and parts of our body.
Yeah, one of the things that I used to do quite a bit when I was really playing with the anatomy trains, which was in the early 2000s, was to get people to balance and integrate the tension throughout the whole system. And if you'd like, we can try this together. So
yes.
Stand up.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to do a little. Do you want to tell them to stand?
Então a gente vai fazer uma prática agora e ela pede para que todos fiquem em pé. Ok, okay, todo mundo em pé.
Okay, so now if you just relax and feel the sensation in the pelvic floor and in the low belly, feel what that feels like.
Então agora relaxe e veja como é que está a sua região do períneo e a parte inferior da barriga.
So we're feeling what that feels like from inside.
Então a gente está tentando sentir como que isso está dentro da gente.
And then if you soften the knees a little bit, you're going to feel the whole body more supported by the earth.
E agora deixa os seus joelhos um pouquinho mais leves, sem travar.
And feel the heels and the way the heels touch the floor. And then shift the weight so that the heels feel full and plump.
E agora sinta o calcanhar e vá mudando, vai colocando peso no calcanhar e sentindo essa sensação.
And so we allow the heels to be plump and to sink, and then we allow the big toe, the second toe, third, fourth, fifth, all of the toes, the heels to sink into the earth as we pay attention to the whole body and the pelvic floor and the low belly.
E aí a gente permite com que o peso do nosso corpo fique lá no calcanhar, se distribua para os dedos, e aí a gente começa a perceber o que isso vai, como que isso vai repercutir na nossa região pélvica.
Now feel from inside again the low belly, the pelvic floor, and release that through the feet. Notice what happens inside.
E agora sinta de novo na sua região pélvica, abaixo da sua barriga, e solta o pé e veja o que acontece.
Again, from inside, feel pelvic floor, low belly, whole body, sink the toes and the heels. You might even feel a little bit of a hugging to midline with the inner legs. And what happens to the pelvic floor and the belly when you do this?
E agora, se você coloca mais pressão nos pés, né? Você vai até sentir que parece que você está abraçando a linha média. E perceba o que acontece com a sua região pélvica e a região inferior do abdômen.
And then relax.
E agora relaxe.
And if you wish, one more time, sink the toes, heels up through the inner legs. And you might feel a quality here.
E mais uma vez, pressione os pés contra o solo. E sinta aqui na sua região pélvica o que acontece. Então, provavelmente você vai sentir que nessa hora que você pressiona mais os pés contra o solo, a região pélvica parece que tem como se fosse um zíper que te fecha. Ok? That's very nice.
How was that?
It's a very good example to show. Yeah.
So I would use this to help. You know, so often people are not really even able to feel this easy inner lift. It's different than contracting the core or strengthening the core, more and allowing the weight to sink down. And as we balance, you know, really through the heel and the toes, all of the anatomy trains, but all of the whole tensional compression balance comes into integration. And then that pelvic floor and the low belly just automatically comes up on its own.
Yes.
So
então ela falou assim que diferente do que você fazer uma força no core, esse exercício onde você simplesmente descarrega mais peso nos pés e fica mais consciente sobre o que acontece na região pélvica e na parte inferior do abdômen, é uma forma de você sentir como as partes se integram, de acordo também com o Anatomy Trains. Né? Nem sempre o seu aluno vai de fato sentir isso, mas ok se ele não sentir. É uma tentativa de você mostrar para ele como existe essa integração. Yeah, because you know this is very nice that you said that. Sometimes your client or even us cannot really feel the difference, and that doesn't you shouldn't be frustrated because of that. You know, because some people they get frustrated when they don't feel, but I'm just saying it's okay. It will come, you know, little by little as you refine your feelings, your awareness.
Exactly. And, you know, this is something I like to also emphasize because biotensegridade is scalar and hierarchical. So that means every part is influencing all of the other parts in all directions. Wherever you are, that's where you are. That's the place to enter.
Então eu falei Exactly. Eu falei para ela que assim, muitas vezes as pessoas elas ficam desencorajadas quando elas não conseguem sentir isso, né? Mas é ok, não tem problema, porque na verdade a gente vai aos poucos construindo essa consciência. E a Cris falou que a biotensegridade é um processo heterárquico, que você vai construindo como se fosse um tijolinho assim, vai construindo um pouquinho por pouquinho. Então, independente em que fase você está, tá certo, it's ok, é ok. Você você tá aprendendo, sentindo, faz parte desse processo isso. Yeah, it's important to say this because sometimes I see that people get really frustrated because of that.
Yeah, and you know, the other thing that I know for myself, for so many people, the anatomy trains has been an entrance to biotensegrity, and that's fabulous. And also this whole idea of integrated and the continuity from micro to macro is we start to then become aware of the whole, even beyond the slings. Beyond, you know, we go from kind of this idea of muscles and bones, and then into slings, and then into whole body. And wherever we are is the place we are, and that's fine.
There's no wrong and right.
There's no wrong and right. Are you interested in exploring? And then there's also this quality of being really curious. So what do you experience in this exploration? And then afterwards, what is the effect? One of the things that I love about biotensegrity, because of this whole, as in the micro, so in the macro, is it helps my mind, you know, by changing the lens for which I'm looking at, from one that's very human-centered to one that's more holistic, is it helps my mind widen. And I'm interested in connecting to that oneness as well as the uniqueness of each person.
Ok. Então, ela falou assim que, eventualmente, com a prática da biotensegridade, a gente começa a sentir no nosso corpo não só as linhas miofaciais da Anatomy Trains, mas isso começa a se expandir para o todo. Você começa a ver que isso é muito maior do que somente as linhas. Mas, independente de que momento do processo você está, é ok, não existe certo ou errado, né? E o que ela fala que ela gosta muito do conceito de biotensegridade é que ela permite ela a ver o todo de uma forma muito mais holística, de uma forma muito mais integrada. Talking about this, there's always this ongoing debate about bone is fascia, right? So, if bone is really fascia, how would that interfere in our practice, in our activities? Então, eu falei para ela que existe esse debate constante. Osso é fáscia? E eu falei, se o osso é fáscia, qual que é essa repercussão na nossa prática? Okay.
Okay, so one of the things I'm going to just show you here is that this model that we're so used to, with the strings and the struts, we can think of these as being separate parts. So it's very easy to conceptualize the bone as separate from the soft tissue. And in a sense, we could take a scalpel and we can separate it out. Now, this model is made only from yarn. And this is stiffened yarn, so it's with a fabric sculpting medium, and you can see it still has all of the same qualities, and yet it's only made of one material, and then it's stiffened in certain areas, and these areas are then able to manage the compression. So in our bodies, we can think of it as in a similar way. The fascial matrix is really that which shapes the body, and it separates some parts, but it's continuous. And in the periosteum wraps around the bones. There's the Sharpie's I think they're called, going into the bone. And the bone itself is collagen that's been mineralized. So John Sharkey has really popularized this idea of bone is fascia, and Stephen Levin has also talked about it, written about it. There's a video of him up on the Archive YouTube's channel.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go with the first model, ok? Então, quando a gente fala assim, osso é fáscia, nesse primeiro modelo, como a gente tem o string, que é um elástico, e depois a gente tem o struts, que é de madeira, fica parecendo assim, o osso é uma coisa, que seria as madeirinhas, e a face, o tecido conjuntivo, seria o elástico. Então, seria outra coisa. Mas, se a gente pensar no outro modelo, onde a gente tem um modelo feito de um mesmo material, só que em algumas partes do material ele é mais rígido, em outras partes ele é menos rígido, a gente consegue ver de forma melhor que sim, o osso faz parte da face, do tecido conjuntivo. Ok, so e dessa forma, ela falou assim, que a gente pode pensar que o osso é um tecido conjuntivo mineralizado. Because Dr. Stephen Levin always says, bone is a specialized tissue. Fascia is a specialized fascia. Então, o Dr. Steve Levin sempre fala que o osso é um tecido conjuntivo especializado. Porque tem esses minerais, o que ele chama de crystals, right? He calls it crystals, right?
Crystallized, yeah, mineralized.
Yes.
Should I continue?
Yes. Let's talk about how will this affect our practice?
So how does it affect our practice? You know, I haven't actually explored it that much in my practice, but I can say that, as you were saying, so when we're working with the soft tissue, we're also working with the bone, and we could instead choose to focus on the bone, perhaps the bone rhythms, or even the space between the bones. And we're also influencing the soft tissue. My own experience when I was, years ago, when I started practicing what my teacher, Joya, calls the tensegrity repair series, we shifted our focus to really balancing that sort of tensional matrix. So there was a feeling of the bones being hugged, which would then mean that when you're moving with that feeling, there's a little bit more, a little bit more compression, a little bit higher compression. And I remember at one point walking around and all of a sudden feeling like my bones were stronger. Now, do I have any evidence that that was the reason? No. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but it's an interesting fact. Yeah?
Okay. In my experience, I think that what changes is that when you think that bone is also fascia, when you're giving mechanic stimuli, you know that mechanic stimuli is going until your bone, right? So you might consider other kinds of stimuli, maybe vibration, maybe a stronger stride, maybe take in consideration gravity and do exercise against and in favor of gravity. So I think what shifts in the mind in the practice is that when you know that bone is also fascia, you are much more aware of the mechanical stimuli that you're giving to your body. That makes sense for you?
It makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so let me summarize this. O que eu falei para ela e o que a Cris também falou é que quando a gente pensa que o osso também é fáscia, a gente fica muito mais aware, mais consciente de que tipos de estímulos mecânicos a gente vai dar para o nosso corpo. Porque se a gente pensa que esse estímulo mecânico ele vai até o nosso osso, então qual é a qualidade desse estímulo que eu vou dar? Ele tem que ser maior ou menor? Eu posso colocar vibração ou não? Eu faço uma passada com mais carga ou não? Eu levo em conta a gravidade a favor ou contra? Então, eu acho que a gente começa a brincar mais com essa história dos estímulos mecânicos e a olhar para esses estímulos mecânicos de outra forma e talvez bolar outros tipos de exercícios, né? Para poder acessar as estruturas ósseas também. Ok. So can we move to another subject?
Sure. Can I say one more thing?
Yes, sure.
And that is around the issue of bonus fascia. Stephen Levin has coined the term mesokinetic organ, being the organ of movement that arises from the middle, the mesenchyme.
E ela falou que o Dr. Steve Levin, ele chamou o osso de meso for mesoderm, right?
Yeah.
Meso, da mesoderme, kinetic, ou seja, cinético organ. Então, um órgão mesocinético. Então, aí você começa a pensar no osso como um órgão mesocinético. That's beautiful. I've never thought about that. Mesokinetic organ. It's interesting.
It's kinetic meaning movement from the middle.
Yes, very nice. So let's move to another question. Dr. Steve Levin said there is no leverage in the body. Então, o Dr. Steve Levin falou, não há alavancas no corpo. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, okay. So we're talking here about really the paradigm shift that's from conventional biomechanics to biotensegridade. So lever, this is like a lever, right? It requires stiff bars or beams moving around a fixed point, and they're open on one end, okay? So when we shift to this type of a model, and you're thinking about it on all scales, so even each string would be a tower of these, each strut would be a tower of these. It's completely closed. There's no open end. You see that? And so we have then, we're shifting to closed kinematic chains. Now I have a brand new model. And this is from Graham Scar, who biotensegridade, the structural basis of life. You want to see this?
Yes.
Do you want to, should I keep going or should I pause?
Wait, you can go.
Okay, so this is a closed kinematic chain. That means there's no open ends like on this. And what you will see, I'm trying to do this so that you can see, is by just moving one part, the whole thing moves. Okay, and I can even. So very simply, it's very efficient. I just need to move one part and the whole thing moves and shifts. Now, the other thing that this model demonstrates is auxetic behavior. And so if I put this way, you'll see that as it expands one way, it expands another. And I can change the direction of that force. So right now my bottom finger is pulling one way. If I shift the direction, the whole thing changes. And this will, do you want me to pause or keep going?
Yes. Let's pause and let's go back to the first one, the conventional one.
Can you give me a little signal when I should change what I'm doing?
Okay, so let's start with the conventional one so I can show them the lever. Ok, então o que ela falou é que se a gente pensa, quando a gente pensa em sistema de alavanca, a gente tem um sistema como esse, né? Aberto, né? Que para nós é um sistema convencional. Ok, you can shift. Agora, se a gente vai pensar no modelo mais atual de biotensegridade, olha só, é um modelo kinemático fechado, onde se você muda uma alavanca, todo o resto se altera. Olha que lindo, gente. Então, você mexe no todo. That's so pretty. I love this model, Chris. I've never seen this before. I want one of these.
It's brand new.
Esse modelo foi feito pelo Graham, é o autor de um livro estudioso sobre biotensegridade, justamente para mostrar que quando você mexe numa parte, existe uma repercussão no todo. That's nice. Thank you.
Do you want me to do this one? I do have a couple more things to show with this if you want.
Yes.
And that is this really, if you move one thing, everything moves. If I block one thing, the whole thing is affected. Okay?
Então, quando você mexe uma parte, todo o resto muda. Ok?
And then, okay. And then also that the changes of force change the whole thing. And if you now expand this into the round of our body, you can see how with the closed kinematic chains, we have a really limitless potential for movement, directions, which is another closed kinematic chains. You talk, I'm going to find another example here.
Então, ela mostrando esse último modelo, que eu achei o máximo, dá pra gente entender que no nosso corpo existe uma infinidade de movimentos em várias direções. Isso fica muito claro. Ok.
So here is, again, this one's a 4-bar closed kinematic chain. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's very simple to make the whole thing move. I just move one, the whole thing moves. But if I block one, it's not, the whole thing is less movable, but also it can move in different directions. Now this might remind you of a knee.
Yeah.
That's
Esse é o outro modelo. Let me explain this one in Portuguese. So, esse modelo é um modelo de 4 partes, né? Que também é um modelo que é cinemático fechado e a gente consegue ver as partes movendo. Quando você move uma, tem uma repercussão no todo. Mas, se você, if you block, show them how you block. Se você bloquear uma das partes, aí não tem mais movimento. If we can translate this block into practice, into movement, we could say that like someone is contracting too much their abs, that's what happens in the whole thing. Então, quando você bloqueia, vocês viram que o movimento ali não acontece mais. Então, transportando isso para a nossa prática, é exatamente assim, ó. Vamos supor que você está fazendo um movimento com o corpo e aí você faz uma contração exagerada no abdômen. A gente viu isso no Mover Glue. Aí você consegue perceber que o movimento meio que trava, né? Então, é exatamente isso que ela mostrou. Quem foi no Mover Glue vai entender o que eu estou falando. Okay, very interesting. I love this new model from Graham.
Yeah, me too. I just got it last week, I think. You know, and the other thing is like with the closed kinematic chain, there you have this ability to move in all these directions. But if one thing moves, everything tends to move. And if one thing is stuck or blocked, everything's stuck or blocked. So like a really easy demonstration of that is if you lock your jaw and your tongue, it's harder to move your neck.
Ok. Então, num sistema kinematic fechado, né? Como ela mostrou, se você move uma parte, todas as outras partes movem. Mas, se você bloqueia uma parte, as outras partes também são bloqueadas. Então, ela deu exemplo, quando você faz assim com a boca, ó, trava a mandíbula, fica mais difícil você mexer o pescoço. Okay, that's very nice. Should we move to another question?
Sure.
Okay, this is fun, Chris. I'm enjoying.
It is fun.
Pergunta número 2. Yeah. Pergunta número 2 para Cris não, o Dr. Levan falou, não há água livre, né, no corpo. There's no free water in the body, right? That's what Dr. Steve Levan told us. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, you know, it makes sense. And it also talks about a paradigm shift. I don't know about you, but when I was in school, I learned about 3 phases of matter. there was solid, like this table that you can't see, but the table behind me, and it has certain qualities. It holds its shape and it doesn't change its volume. And then there was liquid, like water is liquid, which takes the shape of the container, but it doesn't change its volume and it's not compressible. So we have things like hydraulics. And then there's gas, which is very expansive. It will fill the shape of the container and its volume can change. It's compressible.
Então, a gente aprendeu na escola que existem três formas, né, dos estados, né? O estado sólido, que é um estado que não muda, né? Por exemplo, caneca sólida, né? O estado líquido, que é a água, que vai estar no formato da onde ela está, por exemplo, aqui no copo, e o formato gasoso. Ok.
Okay, so as Stephen Levin says, all biology is soft matter. So we don't have like this floating around in our body. We do have liquid. The urine has the qualities of liquid. Tears, as they exit the body, have the quality of liquid. But we're more like soft matter, which has it's squishy. And it can behave sometimes like a liquid, sometimes like a solid. So for example, another example of soft matter is foams and bubbles. So if I shake this, okay, we see now the bubbles take the form, take the shape of the container they're in. And I'm just going to blow them and you'll see that they can act like liquid and pour out. Okay, do you want to talk about that one?
Yes. Então,
you talk about that one.
Ok, no nosso corpo, as substâncias elas estão no estado chamado de soft matter, que é exatamente isso que ela mostrou, tá vendo? Quando ela fez essas bolinhas. Então, no nosso corpo, não tá no estado líquido como a gente pensa, tá nesse estado aqui, que é o soft matter, que ele é meio líquido, meio gel, ele se transforma, ele muda de estado, e aí ela vai mostrar com as bolinhas. Isso aí é um soft matter. Ok? Can we also say that soft matter, it could also look like a gel?
It is, yeah, gel is also soft matter. And
soft
in fact,
matter.
Mariana uses gel all the time.
Então, esse soft matter que eles falam, que existe em grande quantidade no nosso corpo, né, com exceção da urina e da lágrima, é como se fosse um gel. E esse gel, ele vai mudando de estado, como ela mostrou aí com a água que ela mexe e vira bolinhas. Então, ele vai mudando de estado dentro do nosso corpo. Ok.
And you know soft matter because you can your body is soft matter. You can touch it and you can squash it. Soft matter is anything squishy. So you can touch it and you can squash it and release it and it springs back. Or you can pull and release and it springs back.
Então, a gente sabe que o nosso corpo é soft matter. Porque quando a gente aperta o nosso braço, a gente vê que embaixo, quando a gente aperta, não é uma água líquida, não faz squish, né? Imagina se a gente tivesse água líquida, a gente ia andar, o barulho que ia fazer. Mas não, a gente vê que é uma substância que tem uma certa densidade, quando a gente pega aqui na orelha. Então, a gente sabe o que é essa sensação do soft matter. I remember him saying, Dr. Levin, that if you were just water inside, imagine the sound when we would walk.
That's right. And imagine like you would stand up and tip over and all of the water would go slosh and you would fall.
E se a gente fosse só água? Imagina se a gente inclinasse para um lado, toda aquela água caindo para aquele lado. Yeah, it's funny. Okay. But it's
anyways, it's very important. And this whole idea of the tissue of the body can shift from being more fluid-like to stiffer in an instant. And that you can think about also the closed kinematic chains where where it would change really easily. And if I stiffen one point, the whole thing changes in an instant. Okay, and
translating that into practice, we can
that's
say
what I'm
that
going to talk about.
Yeah, we can say that soft matter is really important for our body because it can decreases impact in our body, right?
Yeah, you think about, you can look online for videos. You search slow motion karate chop. It's very hard when it contacts and then immediately becomes more fluid, so be malleable and change shape rather than break, which a stiff thing would break. If we keep it stiff, it breaks.
Breaks, yeah. Let me translate. Então, esse soft matter é importante e traduzindo isso para nossa prática, porque no nosso corpo ele vai ter uma função de proteção, né? De amortecer choques. E é importante a gente entender que esse soft matter ele pode ficar muito mais líquido ou mais rígido mediante um estímulo, rapidamente, né? Então, de repente, você dá um estímulo mecânico, ele fica mais rígido, ou ele fica mais viscoso, menos viscoso. Então, é importante a gente ter isso em mente. Okay? You can keep on.
Okay, so for example, in practice, I'm going to go into what I call a floating half moon. And I'll go with this, what I'm doing is I'm using my toes, my fingers to help balance the tension compression throughout the whole system. And then what I'll do is I'll let go of that awareness in the toes, and immediately you'll see the leg drop and the body become less stiff, so it doesn't balance as easily. It's like the difference between balancing a cooked spaghetti and a raw piece of spaghetti. I don't know if we can get it on the camera. Can you see all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So if I come from here...
We can't see your feet. Do we need to see your feet? Your foot?
Okay, hang on. How can I do this?
Ela vai mostrar um exemplo de biotensegridade, desse trabalho de conexão de partes do corpo, e depois um exemplo de não conexão que acontece.
Okay.
Yes.
You see me?
Yes.
So if I come then from, say here, and I shift the weight. So if I have my awareness throughout, the body's soft, but it still has a certain amount of stiffness. As soon as I let go of my foot, the whole thing gets more jelly-like, so it's way harder to balance.
Okay, so can you do it again and I'll say in Portuguese? Então, ela está mostrando uma postura, ok, you just go into the pose, onde ela tem awareness, consciência dessa postura, o corpo tem partes que estão rígidas, partes que estão mais flexíveis, mas está tudo integrado e consciente. Mas, se de repente ela deixa uma parte sem consciência e solta, ok, you can show now if you lose awareness. Aí o seu corpo desconecta. Ok, that's very nice. So we need awareness in order to have a nice movement. We need awareness in order to have an integrated system. Então, a gente precisa de consciência para ter um movimento harmonioso e um sistema integrado.
You know, it certainly helps. I think maybe some athletes just do it automatically in their performance, but it really helps. And they have to be aware too, right? I mean, if they're not present, they're not going to be a good athlete.
Exactly.
Well,
and you know,
have fun. Be top of the field.
Yeah, and you know, awareness is also very important, knowing that fascia is the biggest sensory organ. So it's extremely important to be aware. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely. It's presence and awareness. It also makes us just better at what we do.
Yeah.
You have to let go. you know, this is the psychology of it. You have to let go of all the worries, all of the stories that you tell yourself about, just to feel what's going on inside. And automatically by that, the body becomes more balanced.
Então, a gente falou aqui que a consciência é uma parte muito importante, né? Quando a gente vai fazer algum movimento, algum exercício. Por quê? Porque a gente sabe que a nossa face é o nosso maior órgão sensorial. Então, é importante a gente estimular a face nesse sentido, né? Da consciência, de estimular esses receptores sensoriais, a interocepção, para ter um resultado melhor, mais eficaz. Ok, very nice, Chris. Chris, our interview is coming to an end. It's been like almost 15 minutes that we are talking.
Okay, we went over time.
Time goes
Nice
so
to see you,
fast.
Anna.
Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing this with us. You illustrated very well, and I thank you so much. It was very easy to understand the way you show.
Okay,
so,
thank you.
Just one more thing. Please let everybody know where can they find you.
Oh, best to find me on Facebook, Chris Clancy, or Chris Clancy Yoga, or the Embody Biotensegridade Facebook group. My website is chrisclancy.ca, but it's not really kept very up to date.
Maybe you can write down there so everybody can see. And while you write, I'm gonna open for questions. Pessoal, alguém tem alguma pergunta para Chris? A Chris tem esse grupo no Facebook chamado de Embodied Biotensegridade, que eu recomendo vocês entrarem e ficarem membros do grupo. É bem educativo, tem altos webinários, é bem bacana. Someone has asked, where can we find this new model? It's only for VIP people, I think.
Oh, this one from Graham? I don't think it's available. Yeah, I don't think he's even selling it. I was just very lucky because we were talking about this sort of thing. And so, so he just very generously sent it to me. And when I saw it, I was just so excited because it just very well, chrisclancy.ca. There we go. It's just so wonderful to feel it in your hands and feel how it responds, and it just demonstrates so many different things. So it's very exciting.
Ok. Esse modelo ela falou que não está à venda. Yeah, that one, yeah. That one is easier to get. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You can make
well, thank you so much.
Okay, bye. Thanks.